When we talk about billionaires, most people think of Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, or Bill Gates. But what not many people know is that China is one of the countries with the most billionaires in the world, and many of them live here. These are all the most luxurious buildings. The price per square meter around here is between 150,000 and 200,000 yuan.
Right now we are in one of the richest districts of this city, known as Nanshan, which is where important companies like Alibaba, Xiaomi, and Lenovo are located. We were looking for an apartment here, and I have to say, if you're looking for good prices, this is not the place to come.
All of this that you see behind me didn't exist before the year 2000. Back then, there was nothing here but swamps and some fishing areas. But it's incredible how fast the Chinese are at building skyscrapers. Just to give you an idea, this park, known as the Talent Park, didn't exist before the year 2000. Or what about this building, which is one of the most iconic in Shenzhen and was only finished in 2018? And if you notice, that's just the beginning. Over there, they're still putting up a lot of buildings, and practically this whole city is under construction. But the most impressive thing of all is that many of these lands had to be filled in because there used to be sea here. Let's say that in some parts of Hohai you're walking on what used to be the ocean. Therefore, one can't help but wonder how this city will end up and how long it will take before we see flying cars or drones delivering food. Oh wait, that already exists. There they are, the pizzas. This is the first time we've ordered food this way, and it's probably not going to happen in another country anytime soon.
After 6 years of living here, this still left me wide-eyed.
It's amazing the service only cost 11 yuan. Let's check what you ordered.
It has Velcro, it's very well secured, and this is what we have inside.
It brings the sodas. It's amazing that it doesn't spill the sodas. Look, they come with ice, they're nice and cold, still fizzy. And once you've finished eating, the box goes back here. I imagine the trash doesn't.
That's good because they reuse it. They even thought of that.
We were about to take it with us. Now we're going to visit one of the most luxurious apartment buildings in the whole city, which is right in front of Parque del Talento, and by right in front I mean here, you can see it from here. This building is known as One Shenzhen Bay, which is like the #1 building in Shenzhen Bay. And it's a mixed-use skyscraper complex. It's not just apartments, it also has a shopping mall down there. This complex is very close to the Alibaba offices you can see over there and to some of the most modern buildings in the city. And according to what I found on the internet, the price per square meter around here is between 150,000 and 200,000 yuan.
To the burger place.
Imagine how high the rent is. Let's see if they'll show us an apartment. Here's the entrance to the building. But to get in, we're going to have to find a real estate agent because otherwise it's going to be impossible. I don't know if they'll want to show them to us, but let's give it a try. Hello, is this a real estate agency?
Yes.
I just made a pretty stupid mistake. When we walked into the real estate agency, they asked if the apartment was for rent or for sale. And like an idiot, I said, no, we want to record a video. So she looked at me like, they're not my houses, man. I don't know if you can record a video there or not. And now we have no way to get into that building, so we're going to have to look for another option. Because of our big mistake, we're going to have to turn to internet apps to try to find an agent who's willing to take us. But we're going to do what we can to see what these apartments are like, and there are some that are incredibly expensive. This one costs 200,000 yuan per month, which is crazy. Let's see if they'll show us. I feel like they'll see us and think, these guys can't afford it, but we'll try anyway. Due to time constraints and to maximize our chances of success, we decided to split up.
We're meeting the first agent of the day. He's going to take us to see an apartment in this area, which has a space of about 150 square meters, which is quite spacious in a city like Shenzhen. Let's see what we could have rented here, if we could afford it, because the truth is we can't afford it. Here's the location, it's that way, and it says it's going to take us 19 minutes walking. Interesting. As I get closer and closer to the location the agent sent me, the buildings get older and older. This is starting to look more like an ordinary street in Suzhou, which is the first city where we lived here in China. Which isn't bad, not bad at all, but honestly, compared to where we rented, I would say these buildings are super old. Hello, excuse me, can you tell me how to get to this place? It's the location the agent sent.
No, miss, what are you doing going so far? It's over there.
My map tells me to go through here.
You have to go around the outside and circle around?
Okay, thank you. While I was walking, the agent created a group and already sent me some other apartments that we can go see. Let's hope we have enough time, but it's definitely going to be a very interesting experience. I think the apartment is in this building over here, which is much more modern. It's just that it's surrounded by older buildings like the ones right across here. The kitchen is pretty well equipped. Is this an oven?
That's right.
Here in China, there aren't many houses that have an oven, right?
Yes, yes.
Ah, look, we have sinks, something we don't have at home. Ah, the fridge is big. This is the main area of the apartment. It's beautiful, isn't it? All the colors are light. It's very well lit. It doesn't have a television, but it has a projector. Here we have the terrace. No way, it's super big, really nice terrace, a pretty beautiful view of the Nanshan district. But yeah, you can tell that we're in an older area, and over there is where the taller and more modern buildings are. We have 2 floors. Over here, the first bedroom, which is super spacious. Just look at all this space. The bed is really nice, kind of cushioned. Everything feels very homey. Here we have a closet with a very large dressing area, nothing we wouldn't love to have in our own house. And right across over here, the bathroom, it's super big for an apartment in Shenzhen. And also, just look at the view from the bathtub, it's spectacular. Let's go to the next bedroom. We also have a closet here and just like before, a private bathroom. One of those that's easy to clean. How much is the rent?
40,000 yuan per month.
What about the deposit?
Usually it's 2 months' rent.
Will you have another one?
Of course.
This is the building's elevator. It's huge and it's also super fast. Because just look at how quickly we're going to get to the 25th floor, which honestly isn't far at all. And well, this is the second apartment we're going to see today. What an elegant way to light up an apartment. Here, a closet for shoes right at the entrance. The kitchen is on this side. It's a little small, very cute, but I prefer the other one. Because if you notice, the refrigerator in this house isn't that big and it doesn't have an oven either. Here we have the dining table and this is the living room. A very nice sofa, marble table. This one does have a television and a chair right in front of the wonderful terrace. This seems like a better place for the washing machine. And well, it has the same view as the other apartment, but with a 3-floor difference. Let's see how the bedrooms are. I love the steps in this apartment. It looks like they're floating. 2nd floor, 1st bedroom. Wow, the bedrooms in these apartments are really spacious. Apartments in Shenzhen usually have small bedrooms. In fact, the room we sleep in is smaller than this one. So it's pretty nice, a vanity over here. The bathroom, which is more or less the same as the other one, has its bathtub, its shower, and its toilet with an automatic trash can. I love them. They have these kinds of things that are gadgets, which are the definition of luxury. Sink, marble countertop. I like that in this building the switches have the names in English. And look, I think this is a really nice detail. Here we have a place to plug in an auxiliary or connect your phone to Bluetooth. And I guess you can be heard throughout the bathroom or even the whole house. That's when you start to say, who could have thought of this? This is a rich person's eccentricity. The doors are also something that shows this is a higher budget apartment. They're heavy and the finish looks like it's really good quality. And over here we have the other room, which is huge. Just look at this. It has a giant closet, definitely another very enviable detail. How much is the monthly rent for this one?
It's 22,000 yuan per month.
22,000 yuan. These apartments range between 40,000 and 22,000 yuan. If that's not called luxury for renting it for a month, then I don't know what luxury is. Honestly, I didn't think they had anything I would envy in my apartment. Just for reference, we live in another district. We live in an apartment that's 110 square meters. We have 3 bedrooms, a kitchen, and a very spacious living room. The decoration is super nice and we have a spectacular view. and we pay 6,200 yuan a month, including the building maintenance, which is something we didn't ask about in this building here. And normally, a fixed amount is charged per square meter, which depends on the community you live in. To the price of these rents, you would probably have to add about 3,000 yuan for the monthly maintenance fee. But it seems that what I found is nothing, because Max had much more ambitious options and expectations, above 100,000 yuan. So let's see what he found.
In my case, I did manage to get them to show me the most luxurious building in Shenzhen, which was the one we were denied entry to at first, and they showed me apartments at different prices. The one we're going to see isn't in front of the park, but it's still inside the Huhai jungle, which is very beautiful and also has a spectacular price. According to the listing I found, it costs 42,000 yen, which would be approximately 120,000 pesos or $6,000. Let's say that within the luxury range, this is the lower end, but we'll try to go higher. And well, it's very nice. It's surrounded by the financial center, the buildings and everything, and I think there's a pool here. Is it free to use the pool?
Correct.
It's nice. Check out the pool with its great view. It's cool since you can use a password or your fingerprint. The door is very beautiful and it's huge. It's 223 square meters. It also has a very nice balcony, and the balcony has a spectacular view. It has a dishwasher that's really cool. This one is for wine. It has a small oven. Does it have 2 ovens?
Yes.
And this is the refrigerator. The bathroom is very nice. It has 3 bathrooms, but it faces north. This is the master bedroom. This is the west. This is the north. My wife likes that about feng shui. You can see the bay from here. And the only thing that worries me is that they're building over here, and they say they'll finish by the end of December. There are 3 shopping malls. You can see the stadium and the financial district. You have a great view, and I really like the master bathroom because it has Bluetooth, so you can play music while you're taking a shower. You can check the news, the peso, apps, the weather, music, and everything is included like on a touch screen that's built into the mirror. These things are for putting towels on. You turn them on here and they heat up. So when you get out of the shower, you have your warm towels. I'm telling you that my budget is $20,000. If not, they won't help me. I was surprised that these apartments already come with amenities that normal people would never even dream of. He says this is the room for the lady who comes to do the cleaning. You can put a bed here. It has its own bathroom. And I remember that one even had a private exit so the housekeeper could come and go from her little house without having to interfere with the daily lives of the people who live there. The truth is that the difference in size between the 3 apartments wasn't much. One was 300 square meters, the other 360, and the last one about 450. But the difference in price was significant. This house costs 140,000 yuan. This is the master bedroom. It's where Noelia and I would sleep. And yes, it has a spectacular view of the park. That over there is the Rensai Gongyuan, the park where we were. The sea view is also great. It has its own television. This one does come with furniture. Now in Mexico, having a walk-in closet like this wouldn't be so unusual, but here in China, it's crazy. The walk-in closet is really nice, very spacious, and over here it has a door that leads outside. It's like an emergency exit. And look, just the bathroom, I don't even know how we got in. This one has a remote control. It has a heated seat for the toilet. The drawers, let's see, and here's the closet. The last one was in the most famous or most luxurious building in the city of Shenzhen. It has much more security, and in a way saying you live there raises your reputation. These are all the most luxurious buildings. Shenzhen and Hao. There are 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, and over there are some more. This is the main entrance. It's very nice, lots of greenery, and it's right next to the Bentley dealership. At first, they didn't want to let us in. We had to register, give our IDs, they had to call the building manager, and finally, about 10 minutes later, they let us in. But the whole time, we were accompanied by a girl from the administration who stayed until the very last second. This one has a pool. The rent for this apartment is $25,000. It's right in front of the Parque del Talento. It's 430 meters and you have an almost panoramic balcony. Here's the living room. It's spacious and already furnished. I don't like the furniture for our cats, but we can't afford alternatives. This kitchen. Is this really the kitchen? It's not, is it?
No, it's just for having breakfast.
Ah, okay, got it. This is for having breakfast. This is the main kitchen. Room for the nanny or for the cleaning lady. It has a shower, it has a Western-style bathroom. This is the study. Here you can put all your things. Even the study has a very good view of the Martian-like buildings of Shenzhen. You can see the drones passing by that deliver food. This is the main bedroom and well, it's on the corner. So it's wonderful because not only do you have views of the park, but here you have views of your pool.
Exactly, that's what I'm talking about.
He's saying we could lower it to 150,000 yuan, but I want 140. Damn, I'm way too excited. Just imagine having an apartment with a pool like that, where you have a view of Hong Kong, the stadium, everything. That's how millionaires live in Shenzhen. And there are even more expensive ones, but I told him my budget doesn't exceed $25,000, so he's showing me the more modest ones in this area. This is a mid-range option with a small pool, but there are pricier ones. What do you think? The maintenance fee is 6,000 yuan. It's not just the price. Compared to prices in the United States, the truth is it's not lacking anything compared to big cities like Miami and New York, because I was just watching some videos and they're more or less the same. $25,000, $22,000, it's pretty comparable. But anyway, we still need to check out the shopping malls in this part of the city, so let's go for a walk. Here are two of the apartments we just saw, and in case it wasn't clear where we are, down here is the Ferrari dealership. And not just anyone can afford one of these, but someone who pays 500,000 pesos a month in rent can probably buy this like it's a Hot Wheels car. But over there is also the Bentley dealership. We also saw the McLaren dealership. Pretty much all the big brands are here. Oh wow, it's closed.
You can't go in without an appointment.
Okay, I get it. If we had come as customers, they would have let us in. But we smell like poverty, so they sent us away.
Max, you can't say that, boy.
Well, they sent us the F away. Here, everyone drives Bentleys, Audis, Teslas. Teslas seem like they're giving them away. It's like the most basic thing you can find around here. Besides McLaren, Ferrari and Bentley, we also have Lotus and Aston Martin, which are some of my favorite cars. Except for their Formula 1 team, which I don't like at all. But what do you think about these models? You leave your apartment and you can come see what you like, a new toy, and you buy it for yourself.
A relaxing Sunday afternoon shopping trip for someone who can afford rent of this caliber. The fact that this brand has a Formula 1 team already says it all, right? Everything around Formula 1 is like ultra luxury. Models, yachts, super expensive tickets. Honestly, I'm even afraid to touch them. Just so you get an idea, in case you didn't know how much an Aston Martin costs, how much a Lotus, a McLaren, or a car in that range costs, an Aston Martin can cost you from $140,000 up to $3 million. Lotuses are $121,000. A McLaren ranges from $238,000 up to $2,250,000.
Now let's visit SeaWorld, another area of Shenzhen. In Spanish, its name translates to something like Ocean World. It's located in an area called Shekou, which is famous for being one of the most exclusive in all of Shenzhen, and I think as soon as we arrive, you'll see why. In the meantime, I'll take the opportunity to show you the Didi cars, which are always spotless in this city. This is a BYD car, which is extremely spacious, always very clean, has a screen, you pay with a QR code, and honestly, it's a really good service because here, there's no scamming you anymore. You don't need a taximeter or to haggle, everything is done through the app, but anyway, you're already familiar with Uber. Now we're arriving at the Shekou district. I mean, all these kids must be rich. This was the first area in all of China where a capitalist-style trial system was implemented, even before Shenzhen was designated as a special economic zone. Therefore, a lot of expatriates moved to this area, which is right on the border with Hong Kong, and luxury apartments, shopping centers, and facilities for people coming from outside started to be developed here, since they were the ones who had the most money at that time. Compared to the Haohai area, this one is older, but it is still very prestigious and definitely one of the most expensive. Look, here they sell Caoba Osi. Caoba Osi are really good. They're from Xinjiang province, which we've already visited, and they usually have lamb or beef inside. Let's see, I'll order one. Watch how he brings the cart, sticks them to the wall, and heats them. And here you really can find everything. International food, Chinese food, Indian food, pretty much anything. Because this is where most of the expatriates in the whole city live. Why didn't we choose Shekou to live?
The truth is that our quality of life would have been much lower than over there.
Lower in terms of the apartment because it could have been higher in terms of relationships, friendships, gyms, and what Noelia meant by quality of life. While we rent in a new complex with very large apartments for 7,000, 6,000, 7,000 yuan, here in Shekou we could rent something like that in an old apartment. What do you think about the buses of the future? These look more like capsule buses, what in Mexico would be mini buses, but more compact and with a very peculiar shape. They do look very futuristic. This place precisely is the shopping center known as Sea World or Haishangshijie, which means Ocean World. And this place is a reflection of the incredible development that the city of Shenzhen has experienced since the 1980s. Because before becoming this modern area, there was only a small fishing village here. In fact, all of this that you see around, it used to be the ocean, and over the years they had to fill it in to turn it into the solid land that today allows them to have this shopping mall. But the most interesting thing is that they left a ship in the middle to remind people of the history of this place. And it's the ship we have back here, which is currently covered. That was a French ship known as Minghua, which was placed there in the middle as a decoration. And look, I've never seen them turn it into an event area before. Today we have something like a skating event. Things change fast. Every time we leave Shenzhen and return, something's different. No matter where you are in China, it's always like this.
In the period of time when we arrived in Shenzhen and then did the trip around China, in 88 days, we came back here and there were 5 more subway lines and 196 more stations.
Who knows what they'll turn the ship into since it's under construction. I think it'll become a hotel or part of the shopping mall. When you hear the word communism, the last thing you expect is to find a luxury shopping mall with a ship in front of it. But this is the reality of this country nowadays. Here we do have international restaurants. For example, this one serves Turkish food, and we also have a friend who owns a Mexican restaurant here. Excellent, highly recommended, known as Tequila Coyotes. And well, now let's go see if he's around. And right in the middle of the mall is the Tesla dealership, why not? And the thing is, they're not very expensive here. While in other parts of the world they're seen as luxury cars, here there are actually some pretty affordable models. Let's see if they have them here.
Model 3, 235,500 yuan, right?
Here is a model for 263,500. Really, what living in this area of Shenzhen gives you is everything that's around it. Because the apartments tend to be a bit smaller or much more expensive, but the surroundings are totally worth it. And right here in front you have an amazing view of the sea, and the crossing to Hong Kong is also right next to it. And what happens in this part of Shenzhen is that there are many people who work in Hong Kong, but because of the prices they decide to live in the city of Shenzhen. Since in Hong Kong everything is 3 or even 5 times more expensive, it's extremely expensive, and that's why there are so many videos about the cage apartments in Hong Kong. But if you like the idea, we could go to Hong Kong one day and make the same video. The most expensive apartments in this area are surely there, facing the marina, with a view of all the yachts, the mountains of Hong Kong, and so on. And they're close enough so that you can come here for a walk in the shopping area. On Sundays, you can come buy some sausages and orange juice, toys, or just walk by the sea. Can you imagine how much it would cost to have a yacht here?
Just yesterday, we were watching an episode of a Netflix series that said in Monaco it costs $70,000 to park your yacht at a dock.
And well, so far we've visited some of the most expensive areas of the city, but we haven't shown you where regular people live. And for that, we did a tour of our apartment. You can watch it by clicking on the cards, so you can see what you can rent with a moderate budget. It's really interesting. I'll leave it here for you.